To bring this one home on a nice light topic that James actually suggested for us, death. I have what I believe to be quite a healthy, positive relationship with the concept of death. And you shared briefly with me this morning your kind of feelings on this as well, which would be similar to mine in terms of, for me, it provides a frame which allows me to experience my life more. So it doesn't create a fear for me around dying, although sometimes I get a bit panicky when I realize I'm actually really enjoying this. I don't want it to end. But it almost enhances every experience in my life when I acknowledge that at some day this is going to end. And it could be today, it could be in 10 years' time, but at some point this is going to end. And also I go a little bit more extreme sometimes with this, and at some point no one will ever remember me or my name or anything about me, which seems kind of like, oh my, that's doom and gloom. But again, it serves to enhance my experience right now. And I found this to be quite a difficult conversation with people at times, because there's a lot of fear surrounding death, and that fear seems to cripple our day-to-day experience. So when I bring up death, a lot of people are really uncomfortable immediately. Oh, don't talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about that. That's an awful negative thing to bring up, and why would we want to talk about that? And obviously there's a sadness for a lot of people surrounding death, because they'll have had people pass away, and it's a reality of life. But for me, it actually creates a really, really useful platform to live my day-to-day life. And I'm not saying I think about it all the time, but I actually think about death consciously quite regularly to give myself that frame. I now use it as a tool to say, well, this is a beautiful cup of tea. I might never, ever get to have a cup of tea again. It seems a bit extreme, but it means I really enjoy this moment, and it's helped me be a lot more present. Would you share that kind of thought process when it comes to death?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really... it's a really interesting one, because the thing we fear the most, and therefore think about it the least, death, is the thing that would liberate us the most and give us the greatest sense of freedom if we thought about it more consistently. And it's understandable people don't want to think about death. In fact, pretty much we never wake up in the morning thinking we may die today. But again, all of this training, and you train in this in meditation, reflecting on this, it's just simply lining up with reality. The reality is we're definitely going to die. And the other reality is nobody knows when. Like, death isn't an age thing, it's a people thing. You can die at any point in your life. I could just walk out of here today and get run over and my life's over. And so it's understandable that people fear thinking about that, because we're kind of framing it within a different context. It's like we're just looking at it like, I don't want to think about that. I just want to get on with my life. But the thing is, because we never think about it, we keep worrying about a tomorrow that may never come. We keep stressing out about a year that may never come. And what we want to do is, the more we think about death, we're just simply openly and honestly acknowledging the truth about life. If you were born, you'll die. Now, the impact that has on your mind is profoundly liberating. Most of the things we worry about, most of the things we are overly concerned about, what Buddha called the 8 worldly concerns, basically resources, respect, reputation, pleasure, and so forth. All these things we grasp at, overly worry about, overly think about what somebody thinks about us. It's often coming from this belief that I can't be happy unless somebody has a good view of me. I can't be happy unless I have millions in the bank, or whatever, a few 100,000 in the bank. I can't be happy unless I'm constantly experiencing pleasurable moments. I can't be happy unless everyone respects me. If you really knew in your heart that you might die today, would you be worried about any of that? I'm not saying would you not work towards that. It's not like you abandon all of that and work towards like putting good money away for your retirement and so forth, because you may die today, but you may not.
Yeah.
So it's good to plan for the future, but not to get caught up in anxiety and worry about the future. So the analogy that's often used with this within the Buddhist tradition is it's like a traveler on the road. They go basically, when we used to do backpacking, you go from country to country to country to city. And every time you land in that place, you're super relaxed about the situation. Like you go into your hotel room, usually a bit rough in those days, but you go into your hotel room and, you're not too fussy about the color of the walls and so forth, because you're moving on tomorrow. You're chatting to the people that are at the hotel, other backpackers, you're getting on well. You're not getting too uptight about them because, you're moving on tomorrow. And so we really want to have that approach to life, because we could all be moving on tomorrow or today.
Yeah.
And so if we had that, we'd be much more relaxed. It's like, okay, today I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to appreciate everything that's good in my life. I'm going to work with the difficulties in my life without getting overwhelmed by them, have more wisdom and acceptance with respect to them. If I fall out with somebody today, I'm going to resolve it before the end of the day because I may not have tomorrow. Why would I carry all of that feelings of resentment and anger in my mind into a tomorrow that may never come, as opposed to let me just work with them, talk through it, accept them, keep my love for them, so that every day I'm just living my best life because today may be my only day. So what happens is, within, like, say, Buddhist meditators, we're encouraged and do meditate every day on the possibility that I may die today. And the reason for that is because you come to this conclusion at the end of it: if I really were to die today, what would be the best way to live my life? And if I live from that peaceful mind and good heart, find that increasing peace and happiness in my everyday life, well, that's my best day. And so then you really understand what real success is. Real success isn't what you get done at the end of the day. It's how you feel after the end of the day.
Yes.
So if you feel really at peace with yourself, you feel there's a deeper love for your family, your friends and others, and you feel really genuinely happy within yourself, at the end of the day, that is real true success. Because you can be doing all day and feel miserable at the end of the day. But if we realize I may only have today, this may be the only day I have, then you're able to really use it to the best of your ability. So instead of it generating fear, it energizes you to let go of all these worries and all these overworldly concerns and just actually focus on what's really important. Maintaining a peaceful mind and a good heart, finding a deeper peace and happiness within myself, helping others if I can to the best of my ability, find that within themselves, create a better world for myself and others.